Hello! Today I will briefly tell you about the 10 most dangerous errors in the assembly of your computer and how to prevent them. Don't forget to like and write a comment about the mistake you made when assembling the PC. Also share this video so that more people know what mistakes cannot be made when assembling a PC. Take an old processor with more cores than a new one with less for games. According to some of our videos about Xeon processors, it may seem that these elderly server stones are really hackers of the system, allowing you to play on Ultra for a couple of dozen bucks without playing greedy capitalists. Why do I need a new expensive i9 if there is a Xeon 666 V6? That's the way it is, but it's not that simple. Xeon are so cheap for a reason. There are a lot of cores, but their performance is not always sufficient. There are also no current instructions, including support for new types of memories and interfaces. And architecture inevitably ages. And there may be such situation that the processor seems to process 60 frames, but they are kind of torn or janky. Assembling a computer on Xeon is not only a panacea for a penniless gamer, but also one more constructor, the assembly of which must be approached with knowledge. With a new hardware, there is no such headache, and so it may happen that a fresh i3 with 4 cores and 8 threads may be faster than 12 nuclear monster, and there is a prospect of an update. Take an expensive or cheap motherboard. Buying a motherboard that is too expensive may be useless if a budget assembly is going to be assembled without the prospect of an upgrade, and a cheap motherboard with a weak power system may be able to withstand an expensive powerful processor, which is fraught with unstable operation, overheating up to the failure of motherboard. It will be a shame and expensive. Therefore, in the description I have selected for you the most up-to-date models of boards and processors. Therefore, I will leave links to current components in the description, come and buy. Too cheap and weak power supply with powerful components. The eternal mistake of many is to save on the power supply or to hope that 1000 watts on the block for $50 is reliable, and such a PSU will pull the SLI out of 2 RTX for 90. Let's start with the fact that saving on a power supply is in principle dangerous for the life of the computer, and we will end up with the fact that cheap power supplies do not always have reliable capacitors and the element base, and 1000 watts are given out only not at full load, but under full load they start to wear out, which is dangerous, and to give out strong pulsations, which is doubly dangerous. These video cards and drives of yours do not like energy pulsations, mortally disliked. Therefore, we do not save money and we take normal blocks with certified and good reviews. Take a video card with PCI-E 4 when your PC has the third version. The error is not fatal but offensive. You will not see any performance gain, the motherboard interface levels their full potential, and the card will work at the speed that the PCI of the motherboard gives out. The performance drop can be up to 10–15%. Damage to the socket, the motherboard and the processor itself. A mistake resulting from the banal haste and carelessness. My heart is beating so hard that it's about to jump out of my chest. My hands are shaking. Adrenaline. Euphoria! I'm about to assemble a powerful system for myself. I'm about to play on Ultra in 8K 60 FPS. Textures and polygons are calling and beckoning. However, computer hardware is good for everyone except for the one thing. It's very fragile. Processor lags, its textile socket tendrils, electrically conductive tracks on the motherboard. One wrong move and now you no longer have a video card in your hands, but a brick. Not a processor, but a keychain. Calmly, slowly, carefully. Wonderful world of video games will not go anywhere from you. Enjoy the build process. Access thermal paste. Generosity is more a good thing than a bad thing. However, everything should be in a moderation. Thermal paste on a processor or a graphic card chip is the best example. Just a few drops, evenly disturbed throughout the lid, and that's it. Thermal paste is needed for a tight contact of the processor cover with the cooler to fill micro cracks, and excess of the paste will not improve thermal conductively in any way, and the paste pieces throughout the motherboard will definitely not benefit it. Incorrect installation of the rack behind the motherboard. Short circuit and static electricity. Not properly installed metal rack behind the motherboard can cause a short circuit of the PC. And this is at least a frozen game and reset of BIOS settings. And as a maximum, something burned out in your computer. It's simple. Make sure that all of the recesses and holes on the rack match those on the motherboard. Otherwise, the rack resting against the textilite can close their conductive paths. Have you already understood what this is fraught with? Also, static electricity. Don't put components on artificate, fabrics, sweaters, carpets. It can hit the circuitry and disable it. Video card without fasteners and stops. Now this is especially true. Video cards are getting heavier by leaps and bounds. At a minimum, fasten the video card with a bolt to the case, and as a maximum, put an emphasis if this is not enough and you see that the video card is sagging. A sagging graphics card can kill the PCI slot and kill itself. Disregard of the manufacturer's instructions and recommendations. The instruction is a good thing. In these mysterious manuscripts, there are hidden clues to all situations that may arise when assembling a gaming PC. This is especially true when connecting the front panel to the case. Well, motherboard manufacturers do not like clear and simple USB connectors, power on and reboot buttons. Incorrect orientations of coolers, the direction of airflow. The airflow in the PC case is not magic but physics. Remember a simple rule: the CPU cooler should output air to the back wall. The cooler on the back wall should work on blowing hot air. The coolers on the front panel should blow your iron, and the coolers on the top should blow hot air out of the case. Everything is simple, but your iron is cold and dust will not accumulate. If you forgot something, write in the comments, we will read everything. And do not forget to put likes, it gives great motivation to continue making content. Bye!